Okay, so here's the deal. I have to talk about myself as a writer, and I'm really not sure how to go about that because I've never really considered myself a writer in the way that English classes expect you to be a writer. Um, I always had a lot of trouble in high school with that because I didn't like to add all of the fluff, the things that I thought English teachers wanted. And it wasn't until I came to Miami and started taking this class that I realized that there were professors who were actually concerned about the same things that I was concerned about, things like economy of language. And so it was really interesting for me to go through this year actually writing the way that I have been wanting to write for so long. So now I have to talk about assignments, specific assignments. So bear with me. Oh my god. Okay, well, this was a stroke of luck. I actually found all of my original inquiries, which is surprising because I can't find anything ever. You should like see the rest of my room. It's pretty typical, I guess, what you would expect of a college student going through finals and really not wanting to write 3 cover letters and revise 3 papers and write a fourth one and do philosophy and then prepare for my Spanish interview and watch a movie in Spanish. Hey, it's a lot actually, but looks like we're off to a good start. Actually, that brings me to a pretty good point about my writing and my style, and I guess just my personality on the whole. Um, I appreciate organization, but I just don't have the time for it. So most of my writing happens, well, right before the papers due, which I actually kind of like. That little bit of stress, the little bit of pressure you get going there really helps push me over the edge. And it makes me think a little bit harder and a lot faster about the things that I need to be writing about. So I feel like that is an important part of my process, as awful as it sounds, is procrastination. The fact that I'm always disorganized, um, always looking for new ideas, and I usually don't figure out what I'm trying to say in my paper until about halfway through or better, which would stress a lot of people out. Especially because when I write, and I mean, some of my friends have kind of caught on to this watching me write papers, I will write a sentence and then I will edit that sentence 3, 4 times before I can move on. So I don't do drafts very well. I don't know, it's just something I've never really taken a liking to, that whole write and rewrite and think about it and rewrite thing. I would rather just do it once and do it in the way that it comes out of my brain, I guess. Maybe that works. Maybe it doesn't. Who knows? Gets me a grade. I hope it's an okay grade. Don't we all? Alright, if at this point you haven't already figured it out, I'm going to go ahead and break the news to you. This is completely unscripted. I have not written a single thing down. In fact, I probably couldn't even find a pen at this point. Which is another really interesting point and kind of goes back to the thing that I just talked about, assuming I put this video together in the order that I filmed them. Um, I really like improvising and doing things on the fly. So, especially in the inquiries, it was kind of tough sometimes because they required some foresight, let's say, maybe some planning, and certainly some research in some cases. Found a Sharpie. So that was a challenge for me to actually have to think about things before I did them. I'd like to think that I'm pretty okay at doing things on the fly. Hopefully you're enjoying this video at least a little. I'm enjoying making it, I think. I really am going to try and keep this from being boring. I like to have a lot of fun. I like to live my life as low stress as possible, which usually means cramming all of my stress into a very short amount of time and then having fun to the best of my ability. Got some really great people here, which brings me to the point of the people. The people here specifically, because I didn't really want to write about myself. until I started interacting with the people around here who were more interesting and more dynamic than the people that I had dealt with before. So I've met people here that share similar interests and make me want to write about the things that I care about rather than just the assignment. It's a really great thing about this English course is that there. Oh, just dropped a Sharpie. Uh, there's always been that option to add a little personal touch, a little piece of your own life into the things that you were writing about. It wasn't just the analysis of a book about the Congo, it was talking about how you relate to the characters, how you relate to the strife and the politics, or talking about how our society views gender roles and like our blog post with where are you going, where have you been? Found it. Um, Really, it's been exciting. It's made the papers certainly a lot more bearable. So to the assignments, we have Inquiry 1 and Haley now, actually. That was a super cool reveal. I'm really proud of that. So anyway, Haley is one of the people that I really connected with about literature. Yeah, I know. It's kind of sweet. When I came here, how did that start, actually? Did it start with Howl?
It did, because you started talking about the Beats Poets that one time I met you guys randomly in Armstrong, and you talked about how you loved the Beats Poets and how Howl was your favorite thing in the world, and
it's pretty great.
About that.
So actually, for my Inquiry 1, I wrote about Howl, and our papers are due at 6 in the morning when Mr. Bill Fisher wakes up to get his kids up for school. So actually, as it turns out, I ended up writing that paper, what time?
Like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Like 3 o'clock in the morning.
You started around like 11 and didn't end until 3.
It took me so long. And I think the problem with this specific paper is that it's just so incredibly dense. There's so much to take in, so much to deal with that I just really didn't know where to start. So I guess that goes back to the procrastination part of my process and the fact that...
Which is the entire process.
Yeah, I mean, it is basically how it works. And the fact that I write better when I have somebody that I can talk things out with, which wasn't so great for Inquiry number 2, but it worked out really well for this one. I don't really remember what grade I got on this, but I'm hoping it was pretty good.
You said it was decent, just because he really liked your ending or something, so you said the grade was pretty good.
I think we ended up talking about the hookah bar when I went in for the office hours, though.
Good.
Yeah, so we're always off topic in office hours, which is kind of awesome. All right. Next. Alright, so let's talk about Inquiry 3. It was a group project, and I had a really great group. In fact, I really enjoyed working with them more than I enjoy working with most groups, because, well, first of all, the topic was awesome. Talking about hookup culture with a bunch of people in college was kind of funny, because everybody was able to add their own unique story and spin, shall we say. Trying to be delicate here. So yeah, that was amazing. I don't usually like group projects because I end up doing most of the work. But as it turns out, it was equally shared and really a great experience. College is a lot different. So finally, in closing and in summation, I've learned a lot about myself as a writer. Not things that I didn't already know, but things that I didn't realize were atypical. It wasn't until I came here and started being around other people and seeing the way that other people work that I realized that I do have a pretty unique process. My creativity hinges on some things that would cause most people stress and probably some sort of breakdown. Not that those don't happen anyway. Yeah. This class has really helped me to develop my own style, something completely different than anything I had ever thought about writing before. It's been eye-opening. It's been reassuring. So, this is it. My introduction to my portfolio, and Justin Fain on December the 4th, signing off. Gotta go to class.